Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, he just gave one of the clearest warnings I've heard from anyone in traditional finance. And this is not some random comment by a crypto influencer yelling that the dollar is going to zero. This is the head of BlackRock, the largest asset manager on earth, warning that the US dollar's reserve currency status is not some permanent birthright. It is a privilege, and privileges can be lost. But here is where this gets interesting. I do not think the real story is Bitcoin replaces the dollar. I don't think the real story is XRP replaces the dollar. The real story is much bigger. The dollar is being forced to evolve, and the rescue plan, it may already be forming right in front of us. Dollar stablecoins, tokenized treasuries, BlackRock's on-chain funds, Ripple's RLUSD, and XRP as the bridge liquidity layer for the new financial system. So today, I'm going to show you something different, not hype, not fantasy, a completely new map of how the US dollar could survive the digital age and why XRP may end up sitting right in the middle of that rescue plan. As always, do me a favor real quick, hit that like button. The more people that hit that like, the more YouTube will share this video. And if you're not over on the Facebook page yet, you just kicked it off, get on over there, link down below, and come join us. Let's start with the interview from Larry Fink at the Mikan Institute.
They'll bring back the whole notion of what's going on in the Middle East, where there's going to be huge opportunities there. But now, because of drone warfare, we have to relook at all forms of security and the need for rebuilding the GCC region to rebuild it so that it's going to be in a position where it's not going to be obstructed by drone warfare. So many more things are going to have to be underground. But even here in the United States, if we're going to be building, let's say, these 1 gigawatt data centers, how do we make sure we're not protecting those $50 billion, $75 billion investments? We have to relook at everything because of the role of drone warfare. Right now, we're looking at it internationally, but one of my concerns is, could it be a domestic terrorism using a $3,000 drone? So all of these things are actually opportunities, not problems. It's going to require...
Now look, Larry Fink is not warning about the dollar because he wants America to fail. He is warning because the system only works as long as the world trusts it. The dollar is the global reserve currencies because countries, banks, corporations, and investors all believe US markets are deep, liquid, trusted, and safe. That trust allows the United States to borrow at a massive scale. It allows the treasury market to function as the foundation of global finance. It allows the dollar to be used in trade, debt, commodities, reserves, and global payments. But Fink's warning is simple. If the debt keeps growing, if deficits keep expanding, and if Washington treats reserve status like it can never be challenged, then eventually the world starts looking for alternatives. That doesn't mean the dollar is going to disappear tomorrow. That does not mean every country dumps treasuries overnight. But it does mean the dollar has to compete now. And for the first time in modern history, the competition is not just another country's currency. It is digital money. It is stablecoins. It is tokenized assets. It is blockchain settlement and 24/7 global liquidity. And that's the part that most people are missing. The dollar is not only fighting China, the dollar is fighting old technology. Let's look at the math here from the CBO. This is going to be the debt math, folks. The Congressional Budget Office, they project that your federal debt held by the public rising from about 101% of GDP at the end of this year to 108% by 2030. And then 120% by 2036. That means the debt problem is not shrinking, it's accelerating. And when debt grows faster than the economy, the reserve currency privilege, it becomes more important, not less. Because the United States, they constantly need new buyers for its debt. Now look at the interest expense. The Treasury owns data. It shows Your fiscal year to date, 2026 interest expense at hundreds of billions of dollars already. This is money paid just to service the actual debt, not roads, not defense, not social security, not innovation, just interest. And this is why Larry Fink's warning matters. Because if the world ever loses confidence in US debt, borrowing is going to get more expensive. Interest costs will rise. The deficit will widen, and the whole cycle, it gets worse. So the rescue plan, they got to do two things at the same time. Number one, protect global demand for dollars. Number two, create new buyers for US debt. And this is where stablecoins enter the picture. This article over from Reuters, it's huge. The European Central Bank, they're warning that stablecoins could actually cement dollar dominance. Think about that. Europe is saying stablecoins kill the dollar. They're not saying stablecoins kill the dollar. What they're saying that stablecoins may make the dollar even more powerful. Why though? Because most stablecoins are what? They're dollar denominated. USDT, USDC, RLUSD. If someone in another country cannot easily access a US bank account, they may still be able to access a dollar stablecoin. That means that the dollar can spread through crypto rails even where the US banking system does not reach. Now, the Federal Reserve Governor, and this is directly from the Federal Reserve's website, Christopher Waller, he said something very similar. He said stablecoins have the potential to maintain and extend the role of the dollar internationally. That's the key phrase, extend the dollar, not replace it, extend it. The old dollar system, it's bank accounts, it's Fedwire, it's correspondent banks, business hours, settlement delays, and friction. The new dollar system, it's tokenized dollars, moving 24/7 across global rails. So when people say stablecoins are bad for the dollar, I think they're missing the bigger picture. Stablecoins may be the dollar survival mechanism, but stablecoins, they need reserves. And those reserves, they create the next part of this rescue plan. Here's the part no one's talking about enough. Dollar-backed stablecoins. They usually need safe and liquid reserves. That often means cash, repos, and short-term US treasuries. So every time the stable market grows, the demand for treasury bills, they can grow with it. That matters because the United States, they need buyers of its debt. Don't you worry, because the BIS studied this too. Stablecoin issuers have become major holders of short-term treasury bills. This is not a tiny slide story anymore. This is becoming part of the treasury market. So now we can see the rescue plan forming, right? Stablecoins spread digital dollars around the world. Those stablecoins need reserves. Those reserves create demand for US treasuries. They support the debt market, and if done correctly, it strengthens the dollar's global role. But there's still one missing piece, isn't there? Stablecoins are digital dollars. Treasuries are digital collateral. But how do you move between all these assets instantly? That's where tokenization comes in. And BlackRock is already building it. And BlackRock is already testing it with who? Ripple and the XRP ledger. Let's not forget about BlackRock's Build Fund. This is one of the clearest examples of where this is all going. This fund gives qualified investors exposure to cash, treasury bills, and repurchase agreements on chain. This is not a meme coin or a gamble. This is BlackRock putting institutional grade dollar collateral directly onto blockchain rails. Now, the original launch described Build as a stable $1 token value by paying daily accrued dividends to investors' wallets. This is the old system becoming programmable. Treasury exposure, money market state yield, on-chain transferability, and you get 24/7 infrastructure. This is what Larry Fink means when he talks about tokenization. BlackRock is not just buying Bitcoin ETFs. BlackRock is helping build the rails for tokenized finance. But here is where the XRP angle becomes very interesting, because tokenized treasuries are powerful, but they still need liquidity. They still need off-ramps. They still need settlement assets. They still need ways to move from one value to another. And that brings us directly to Ripple. Remember Brad Garlinghouse talking about the digital dollar?
Ripple announcing just moments ago that it's partnering with BNY for BNY to be its primary custodian for for its stablecoin. Joining us first on CNBC, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. A nice shot, Brad. It suits you well. You're looking very, even presidential almost. Welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here. Good to be back on Squawk Box.
You need a custodian for your stablecoin. Why BNY?
Look, I think as the crypto industry has emerged from kind of the last administration where the industry was being attacked, working with the most trusted, the most well-regulated, and even the best capitalized partners is a way to continue to build trust in this system. And stablecoins at their core, by their nature, it's a dollar backed with a dollar in deposits. BNY Mellon has, for a very long time been amongst the most trusted partners out there as a custody bank. So we're really pleased. We think it's indicative of the shift of tide where we've had headwinds for this industry are now becoming tailwinds. And I think we're going to see a lot of growth.
So Ripple says RLUSD is designed to maintain a constant value of $1. It's issued on the ledger and Ethereum, and it's backed by segregated reserves of cash and cash equivalents, redeemable one-to-one for US dollar. That matters because RLUSD gives Ripple something it didn't have before: a regulated dollar instrument, a stable settlement asset, a bridge between traditional finance and blockchain finance. And Ripple, they published their reserve transparency reports. Did you know that? This is important because your institutions don't want mystery money. What do they want? They want compliance. They want reserves. They want everyone to know exactly what they're doing and how much they have. And they want regulated infrastructure. This is why RLUSD is not just another stablecoin. It's Ripple building the dollar side of the XRP ledger economy. But the key is RLUSD is not a competitor to XRP. RLUSD may be what brings more dollar liquidity onto rails where XRP can actually function. Stablecoin equals digital dollars. XRP equals bridge liquidity. Different jobs, but the same system. Now, here's where the story gets real. Remember this article? Ripple and Securitize, they announced smart contract functionality, allowing holders of BlackRock VILs and VanEck VBIL tokenized treasury fund to exchange shares for RLUSD. Yes, you heard that right. Both BlackRock and VanEck exchanged their shares for RLUSD. You got BlackRock tokenized treasury fund, you got VanEck tokenized treasury fund, and you have RLUSD as the off-ramp. That means that your tokenized treasury products are being connected to Ripple stablecoin infrastructure. This is not XRP moon math. This is actual plumbing. This is how the new system starts to look. A treasury fund becomes tokenized. The tokenized fund can be exchanged into a regulated stablecoin. The stablecoin can now move on chain, and then liquidity can route across networks and assets. This is the rescue plan nobody is explaining correctly. The dollar is not rescued by staying frozen in the old banking system. The dollar is rescued by becoming programmable. And the XRP ledger, it was built exactly for that kind of moment, for that kind of environment. The XRP ledger, folks, it's not about sending XRP from one wallet to another. It has a built-in decentralized exchange. It has a built-in automated market maker functionality. It supports issued assets like stablecoins. It is designed for fast settlement and liquidity movement. This matters because a world filled with stablecoins still has a problem. Every country may need its own tokenized currency, which would just create a digital version of SWIFT. Every institution may issue tokenized assets. Every fund may issue tokenized shares, but those assets still need to trade, settle, and move across borders. This is the job of liquidity. And XRP's original purpose was bridge liquidity, not replacing the dollar, not replacing every currency, but sitting in the middle when value needs to move from one asset, one network, or one currency into another. And Ripple's institutional DeFi roadmap, it puts XRP at the core of tokenized finance, compliance tooling, real-time settlement, and liquidity. So the XRP rescue plan is not that XRP magically becomes the world's reserve currency overnight. The real rescue plan is more practical. Stablecoins, they protect the dollar's reach. Tokenized treasuries create new demand for US debt. RLUSD brings regulated dollars onto Ripple's rails. And XRP, it provides the neutral liquidity asset that can help move value between all these tokenized markets. This is a much stronger argument than just saying the dollar collapses and XRP saves everything. This is how infrastructure actually gets adopted quietly. piece by piece. Then suddenly, everyone realizes the rails were already built. So here's the honest takeaway. Larry Fink is warning that the dollar's reserve status is not guaranteed. The debt math is getting worse, interest rates are rising, and the world is moving into digital money whether Washington is ready or not. But the answer is not simply the dollar dies. The answer may be that the dollar evolves. Dollar stablecoins extend U.S. monetary reach. Tokenized treasuries create new global demand for U.S. debt. BlackRock's already putting treasury products on chain, and Ripple is connecting RLUSD to tokenized fund, and the XRP ledger gives the system something it desperately needs: fast settlement, stablecoin liquidity, and a bridge asset built for moving value. That is the rescue plan that I'm watching. Not hype, not overnight, but real infrastructure. And this is where the financial system is going. The XRP holders may be sitting in front of one of the biggest plumbing upgrades in global finance. Drop me a comment down below. Do you think the dollar gets replaced, or does it survive by going digital? And if you want more videos like this, where we connect the real sources, not just the headlines, hit subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and make sure you hit that like button. As always, this is not financial advice. It never is, and it never will be. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see all y'all on the next one.